You can all hear me, can't you?
Yes.
Before I said I wasn't going to use the mic, and then I got up and used it anyway, so I'm going to attempt to not use it. There's some tea on my poems, but hopefully that won't be a problem. The first one I'm not going to read, I'm just going to say. It's called The Beekeepers Funeral, and it's about an Old English tradition, which people took very seriously at one time as a sort of superstition, that if a beekeeper died, it was very, very, very important to go and tell the bees, and there were special ways in which you could do this. So you could knock on the hive 3 times, or you could take some of the cake or the biscuit from the funeral and go and put that on top, so they would know. And if they didn't know, you forgot to mention it to them, they would really go mental. So, yeah, like the rage, smashing stuff, that's exactly what the bees would do. So that's what this poem is about. We all ate sweet honey cake at the beekeeper's wake, mainly for his wife's sake. I gave her hand a little squeeze as she smoothed her skirt over her knees and asked if she had told the bees. Of course I've told the bees, she said. I've told them very clearly. That's to say they've been informed. Nearly. I said that George had passed on, was done dancing and had got his wings. You see, bees can be very sensitive things. But by the time we returned to the house, the air was thick, buzzing yellow and black. The bees had got it wrong, you see. They thought that he was coming back. When his wife had used the words resting, testing his new narrow bed, they hadn't understood a word she'd said. And when the beekeeper didn't return, the bees began to burn with anger. Yellow and black, yellow and black. We want him back, we want him back, they howled as they growled en masse towards the house. The funeral party stopped and stood back and gazed at the cloud of yellow and black. Yellow and black, yellow and black, the whole house hummed and succumbed to attack. The wood and the windows started to crack as the bees squeezed themselves in through nooks and gaps under doors. It didn't look much like a house anymore. Yellow and black, the whole house hummed and succumbed to attack. Yellow and black, yellow and black. The beekeeper's wife held tight to her hat and said, "Oh, there's a rule that's very old. If a beekeeper dies, the bees must be told." I thought I'd told them, softly, sweetly, but I should have said it straight and completely. I forgot to knock 3 times on the wood, even though I knew I should. I could have taken the cake from the wake and placed it on the hive, but George always dealt with the bees when he was alive. Yellow and black, the whole house hums and succumbs to attack. Yellow and black, she shouts at the bees, "Give my house back!" But the house is gone, devoured, destroyed. It would seem that the bees were rather annoyed. As the swarm disperses and goes, it leaves in the air a yellow-black glow. No one likes telling the little ones, but the little ones always know. Thank you. The next one's a very short poem. I myself am quite short, so it suits me. And it's about going to see the readings of the T.S. Eliot Prize, wearing the coat of someone who had just recently passed away. It's called Blue Coat. Here, in the company of your favourite living poets, I, who would never have taken your hand, take it now. Press it into my own. Your absence creates presence everywhere. Discharged from your location, you are free to roam, and yet you stick with me, travelling on my back, blue-coated and so light. This poem is called The Reprieve. and I wrote it this week. Yeah, this is his first outing in the world. Okay. The reprieve. We meet at Vauxhall Station after a week of walking with heels lifted, venturing quiet onto new ground, eyes and noses twitching, separation like starvation making us alert. The cut had been swift and unexpected, our hands together on the blade, moving as softly as steel through a wedding cake. We retreated quickly, scared to look. We have broken up, we told friends calmly, patting them like dumb animals. Zipped tightly into coats, we had made the world feel different, plates cool against our fingers. But after the initial rush, a hushed half-thought grew in the cool, dangerous days that I swam, reptilian around borrowed beds. Of you, our flat, your curving back beneath our sheets. Both of us had been taught that it's not safe to pull a knife from flesh. And yet I call you, a little yesterday dancing in my throat, not sure what to ask for. Mouths and eyes full of water, love a growth beneath our tongues, backs brittle and the world bringing out its best. We meet beneath a dark blue sky full of cranes. This is my last one. It's called Birdsong, but it's not related to the First World War poetry that you were talking about earlier. It just happens to be called Birdsong, and it's a sestina, which is a magical poetic form that kind of spirals in on itself, that repeats certain words that you will just have to Google, because I can't really explain it. It's incredibly complicated. If you want to write a sestina, go online and search for Sestina Builder and it'll tell you which words go where. Okay, Birdsong. I wet your cracked fallow tongue. It is the end of the age of miracles. Gather up your near-dead hand and sing softly into the silence. Jaundiced tumours, yellow as sunlight, yellow as the little bird. Next door, the little bird is singing, calling, vibrating its tongue. A feather-wrapped heartbeat so light, lightness itself a kind of miracle. Ready when you die to break the silence. Poised, feet curled around the chaplain's hand. We say, I think he squeezed my hand, in turn, holding it gently as a bird. At any hint of waking, breaking silence, we rush to you with heavy tongues, longing now for smaller miracles, jostling for the patch of light that falls across your bed, wintry light from the garden that graces your hand, resting on the white sheet, where the miracle of those familial fingers nibbled by the bird, a certain curve of lip, ability to curl tongues, are comforting accidents to fill the silence. We shared an accent before this silence. I glance at you on the balcony, lighting a cigar, laughter dancing off your tongue, the Christmas before sickness, with the same hands that now rest on the sheet as lightly as birds about to take flight. Flicking through miracles, photographs of that lifetime before miracles were needed, steady, unnoticed growth of silence. And the shot of you, conscious, stroking the bird just days before, cage catching the light, the bird gently catching your hand. Weak, perfect smile, over soft hydrated tongue. Discarded miracles catch light. Cold spreads silent into slim hands. Violent beauty of birdsong, love, cracked tongue.
If there's a better poem about bees than Anna's, I get to hear it. So eat your heart out, Carol Ann Duffy. And more applause, please, for Anna Beecher. And now the return of the dynamic duo from Merton. Here they are, Keith and Suzanne Drake.